Welcome to another edition of the Backyard Carpenters. Have returned to our garage. We're not exactly in the backyard. Anyway, we have a local store that's getting ready to close its doors. And so they're putting stuff on sale. So, Backyard Carpenter Bond Girl Jane found this thing. And so what we're doing is, these are just made out of plastic. These are. Alright, so we took it apart and then measured where we wanted this to go, and now we have two pieces, and we're getting ready to do the framework out of pieces of wood because we don't want to deal with this plastic. Oh, by the way, I'm Van, and I guess I'm Sean Connery. But anyway, I'm sorry, and she's Jane. Alright, Backyard Carbon Baby Boom can do. So we have somewhere, there it is. Alright, so we got some pine they're going to rip down, and we're going to do a little different, that we're going to actually put the frame on this, if that makes sense, not like a dado or groove or something. So we'll use brad nails to nail onto it, and then Jane's first though, before we do that, she's got to paint them black. Alright, so this is actually going to go in our kitchen area. So we'll update you as we continue, but she's better known as, what's your new name now? Yeah, but you had to say Bond. There you go. Reason we're saying that, if you hadn't watched the episode, we got to do some Bondo, which they now make. Everybody goes, Bondo, isn't that for cars? Well, yeah, it used to be, but they now have manufactured a product that goes with carpentry. And Jane took to that like she'd been doing it her entire life. So she's the one that came up with the terminology that she's a Bond girl. So now she runs around saying Bond. Jane Bond. This is the table saw we're working with, and I was able to extend it. The maximum I can extend it is like 32 and a half. So now I'm going to be cutting down 3/4. So what I'm going to do is, there's a switch right under here that I release. I just released it. Alright, and then this is my knob that I spin. Okay, but I got to move that over. So the way I do it is I release this, okay, on both ends. Alright, like so. Alright, and then this just comes out. Alright, and then, oh, by the way, that's where my push bar is. All right, trying to get this come off one-handed. I thought I was gonna have to call on the Bond girl there. All right, so then I just move it down to that one. Bond girl, needs a real quick light on the other side. All right, you're hooking it on that one. Got it? Alright. Then we just lay it down. Alright, get this out of the way. That's when you're doing delicate cuts. And then we flip that. And now I can continue to roll this until I get down here to 3/4 of an inch. Like so. Alright, so now I'll start ripping down. Oh, by the way, I got to relock it down with this handle right here. So I've locked it back down. Now I'm going to rip. I just want to take a moment and kind of point out something. Notice that, I know it's fuzzing out, but notice that says made in Finland. Now, I personally have been to the country of Finland, loved it. You know, it's kind of strange that they're so high up in the northern hemisphere that a lot of times they're in the dark. But when we were there, the sun would actually drop down about 11 p.m., skim the horizon and come back up about 3. That was kind of hard to get used to. But anyway, so the question is, why in the world here in the United States, with all the lumber companies that we have, why are they bringing in a local hardware store, big brand name, why are they bringing in material from Finland? All right, this has to have a certain amount of moisture content when it goes through a kiln, all right? Well, it might have been a moisture content, but then it's shipped across the Atlantic, and along the way it's going to be experience saltwater moisture. So when it gets here, the moisture content cannot be less than 6% like it's supposed to be. So that's just a commentary, don't understand. In case you missed the episode where I went through my roller with what is called a D-handle worm drive circular saw, which is very powerful. I didn't even know that I'd gone through it. That's how powerful. Anyway, what this is for is I don't have to call on James Services to help me catch this. So this roller will catch that as I come. I'm doing 3/4 by 3/4, and that's what we're going to make a little framework out of. Put it together, and then James got to paint it before we install it on our little piece of artwork. Okay. So she's found the color that she wants, and she's delicately painting the edge of this. So you say it's a piece of cloth on some.
Yeah. See, this is fabric they glued on because it's sprayed on the edge.
Okay.
They glued it on the board.
Some kind of thin little board. I can't do this other one without. What I'm saying is I can't do this last piece with the camera in my hand trying to push this through, because I now have to have my push stick. That's my push stick right there. So I cannot do both. I wish I could, but I can't. The interior decorator lady has decided that it's okay for us to put this framework. Right, here you go. Like on top, like that. Alright, so what I'm getting ready to do is I'm doing my pieces now, 2 at 26 and 2 at 30, and then I'm going to put together the brad nails and glue, and the interior decorator Jane, she got so many names. Anyway, she will paint it, and then we'll put it on top, but with brad nails. That's then I'll show what a brad nailer is in a moment or two. I've been trying to figure out how in the world I could actually run the camera and cut, but when cutting, because you want to keep your hand, see, you got this little mark right here to don't take your hand any further than that. It actually takes 2 hands, because I got to be able to activate the saw and hold the piece. So I'll just show you the aftermath. What I'm doing is, because these went through the table saw, right now I don't have a real fine blade on the table saw. It leaves a little fuzzy. So I'm just taking a piece of, there you go, sandpaper and just knocking off the fuzz off the edge. So now I got to cut this one to 30. So what I'm doing, let's get the camera pointed down. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I got it already set up on 45, and I'm going to make my first cut. Now I got a tripod I can cut and also do filming and things like that. Right. So then I'm going to flip it around, okay, and with my tape I'm going to go over to 30. Make my mark on top of it, right, like so, okay. Then I'm going to take my handy dandy speed square, and I'm going to actually put it like so, and make my 45-degree mark, so now I can see it to cut it. What it end up looking like. Alright, you can see it anyway. So now I'm going to put the puzzle together. Okay. These are brad nails. That's kind of hard to tell on camera, but they are called T because it looks like a T. Right? So what you do is you open up your gun like so, and you slide these to the bottom. Right, make sure they're bottomed out, slide them forward, right, and then, right, push in. Right, so now they're locked in place. Now it's just a matter of hooking up the air hose. You're gonna take a little bit of glue, right, a little bit of glue, and put it on each end to help hold this. Right, so I'm going over here to this side, right, and then I'm gonna put it in place. And I can use a brad gun to put this together. Alright, so I got to do that on all four corners. Alright, when I'm doing the brads, I'm making sure that one's up top and the other's on the bottom. That way, there's no chance of the brads hitting each other. Now, it's got a safety device that I have to suppress this tip right here. Alright, right here, I had to suppress that tip in order to get the fire. It's a safety feature. Alright, framework together. Now this is what the framework's going to look like. I've done my part. Alright, and it's now a matter of interior decorator Jane. She's going to paint that just really dark navy blue. And then, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. Let's focus back out. There you go. And that, so then I'll come back and actually attach to the frame to this fabric so that we can hang it up. We have the hangers that came with the original right there that we're going to use. So that's as far as I can go for right now. I decided I need to show you all the aftermath and the mess. I should have hooked up our table saw there to our vacuum cleaner, but I didn't. So now I've got all this sawdust that I got to vacuum up, because this is where we park our vehicles, and then this is our waste that's got to be dealt with. Alright, and so now I've got to blow off the combo saw, also the table saw. So, but that's just part of it. You know, you got to clean up after yourself. Disconnect all the tools from power. Disconnect, you know, any air device from the air. Unload the nails out of whatever nailer you're using. Alright, and then store everything. Yeah, that's my tripod. Jane has completed her process, which was painting this real dark navy blue, and then this is the board that's going to go. Well, this is the painting, artwork, decoration, whatever you want to call it. So I'm putting it flush all the way around. Okay, flush all the way around on the frame. All right, and then I'm going to be using a brad nail. All right, and this is a brad nailer, and I put 3/4 inch brads in it, and there's a feature right here where you can dial how deep you want it to go or how flush you want it to go. So I've dialed it back pretty far just to see where it gets to, because I don't want it going all the way through and coming out the other side. So let's do one, see what we got. Looks good. Alright, so just a matter of running around and nailing this. This is 1 inch. This 1 inch material, and these are 3/4, and I'm barely getting the nail hit right at the surface. I know I'm not going to actually go through. So I'll show you when the product's done. I don't want to bore you with all this nailing. Hey, this is one that looks like nailed in place. Right now it's just a matter of me putting the hanging hardware on the back. So that's what I'm doing next. The hanging hardware. And then we'll put piece of wire, and we got hanging kits. Right. This is the hardware. Oh, kind of cattywankered here. Let's uncattywanker myself here. There you go. Alright, this is the hardware I'm going to be using. I've already made some indicator holes that I want this to be 8 inches down from the top. So I'm going to pile it, guys, so I don't split the material, okay? Alright. Now, it came with its own screws. Alright, so I've got to do this 6 times. Got the hanging hardware completed. Okay, now you can get one of these little hang-up kits in any hardware store or a craft store, you know, if you want. But anyway, so instead of using one of these that goes at the top, one of those that goes at the top, I'm going to run a piece of wire between these two, the hanging hardware that came with this piece of artwork, as James calls it. So I'm just going to put a piece here, wrap her around, like so, tighten her up a little bit, alright, stretch her across, I can get the wire untangled, alright, and I don't have anything out here to cut this with, so I'll be right back with some scissors. So I'm just cutting this wire with a pair of scissors that came with the kit. Right. And I'm going to wrap it. Put that back. Now this is all stuff I'm going to use to actually hang this. Each of these have like a weight capacity. So I'm just wrapping like so. Alright. Now this is where I have to go get my illustrious, beautiful, I guess that's the word. She said I make up words all the time. Anyway, to help me determine where I'm going to put the hanging hardware on the wall where she wants it to go. Hook that. There you go. So, hey, let's see.
Ta-da!
Ta-da, ta-da. Where are you? Over there. Okay. So,
It's up.
it's up. So, I guess that's the end of this little production. This is what it looks like, hung up in its space. What does the lady of the house?
I like it.
Or you want a little lower? Anyway, why don't we do some minor adjustments? Oh yeah, I'm Dan.
I'm Jen.
Backyard Carpenters. And we're just doing the project at the house. So next time we see you, you have a great day.
Bye. Yes, see you.